Sorry. Please excuse the network. Paul. Grandma glanced at the clock and invited us to prayer, explaining that now was the appropriate time. We gathered around a big table, in whose center graciously rested a vase of red flowers, much like carnations. After a few minutes of silence, during which Grandma Delia asked me to think good thoughts, Aunt Eunice offered a beautiful prayer out loud, asking Jesus to help and enlighten us always, and to help us be worthy of the eternal Father's blessings. When she had finished, I was startled at seeing a nearby mirror begin to light up marvelously, as if it were receiving a strong projection of golden light from some unknown place. In a few brief moments, the image of a captivating woman appeared, speaking to us. Grandma and Aunt Eunice listened to her closely while I gazed in awe. Having overcome an initial surprise, I began listening to her, fascinated by the beauty of her wisdom-filled lesson and comments, although I couldn't grasp the meaning of everything she was talking about. Her optimistic mood, however, was admirable and, conscious, with noteworthy serenity and an excellent display of cheerfulness. She was speaking to us through a TV-like apparatus, just as if she were there in person 3 steps away. Besides the priceless instruction she brought us, she more fervently commented on our need to understand the higher design before anything else, with the firm decision to mold ourselves according to them within the spirit of service. She wisely explained that everything happens to us for the good if we don't place ourselves in the deplorable conditions of rebellious and stubborn individuals. Listening to her, I honestly felt encouraged and cheerful. I got the idea that this visitor from afar was radiating waves of peace that profoundly comforted my soul and increased my hopes in the sublime future. In those few minutes, I felt that my faith had grown a lot, which in turn intensified my inner optimism and trust. When the golden light in the crystalline mirror finally disappeared, Aunt Eunice told me that twice per week the home is the village where Aunt Eunice told me that twice per week the homes in the village were put in contact with high-level instructors and governors from our new realm of work by means of TV-like and radio-like devices. I couldn't contain my obvious joy. When I went to bed, Grandma Delia told me that on the next day I would be taken to the children's complex from where I am writing you this letter. Beautiful, don't you think this is so appropriate? Hello Saul, thank you for joining us. So appropriate for the times, because this is a prayer. And Carlos comes and he tells us that a higher spirit came through a TV-like, radio-like apparatus and gave a message. And this beautiful message is what we all need in the prayer way of doing this as well, which is his grandmother explained as well. In this time that we are all going through now, we're going to in lockdown from 12 o'clock tonight in South Africa. This is the time when we are called, and you can listen to this message again tonight. And this is the right time for us to hear this message from the spiritual realm, because we are not here only for this material things. And I think all of us are realizing this all the more in what about the virus and everything that is happening around us. But it is more important for us now to focus on our spirituality, on sharing the good news, which is that we don't have to be sad or anxious about anything. Like beautiful Carol told us this morning, El Jesus, like Emmanuel says, the thing is that we have to trust in what is happening around us, and we have to try and be joyful through all this altogether. I know that we all have this times that we go into anxiousness, but if we truly listen and give ourselves over and understand, and especially there's so many of our beloved friends on Godak Radio that in this time are sharing so many beautiful things that uplift our souls. And if we have the opportunity to stay in this lessons, and this was the message from our mentors as well. We had 2 weeks no network, and we couldn't be part of anything or join any lesson. And in a time when I was down, I asked the mentors, why is this happening? Because I mean, we truly need to stay in this lessons for ourselves to be, it is like food for our souls. And the thing is that we can study ourselves as well. If you have a book or anything, this is the time. If there's any time, this is now the time for us to study, to work with our children, to let them know and understand that regardless of illness, that even if we return to the spiritual world and we don't know what the plan of God is, we don't know. And if one of us may return to the spiritual world, that we should know that it's just a continuing of this life. And this is what our spirit teachings are teaching us. So there should be no fear in this time. We should be honoring our neighbor by helping them as well. And how can we help one another is by joyfully and in great faith share the Spirit's teachings to everyone, because we truly need this. And you are right, Saul, we need to pray more. And this is why it is so important, not only in prayer. I mean, I've always had this thought of prayer thoughts, like when I make food, to pray for my food, to actually, it is like a blessing of everything, because I believe in blessings. Even now, today, the last time when we went to people and we wouldn't see each other for a long time, it's to bless every soul, even if it's just a thought. And it's in a blessing when you get water, and a blessing when you make the food. And this is what we can do with our families. It is being in a prayer-like state. Even if we get news, and this is where we're going to be now, is listening to news to see where we're at, and to bless these people that's making these decisions. Bless them and send them this love so that they can be inspired to do the right things, and not have bad opinions, or send them bad energies, because we know that in this mental field, and this is where this illness originated from, is in our own mental field. And we have to ask ourselves, what is my responsibility? Am I also responsible for this virus spreading? Vanessa and Celine truly explained it beautiful, out of the book How to Heal Yourself, I think, out of Louise Hay, because it is exactly the illness where it's started and what it's affecting in our bodies. So if we have to look at that, we need to meditate. And I'm a big believer in meditate. Yes, we do. I agree. At least we know life is eternal, and that's the thing. But it's in how we are conducting ourselves in this time. Now, we are truly called now. We have the time and we have the means to give out what we can't say, I don't have the time, I'm busy, I'm working. We truly have the time now to do this, and to look at ourselves, to truly go into ourselves and see where we're at and what is our responsibility towards others, and do great things. Start a project, do something great. There's a lot of people, especially here now, losing their jobs. They need someone to talk to. We're going to come out of this and we're going to have to truly love our neighbor by helping them. So, I mean, and this is the thing. For now, we can only pray for one another because we can't see each other or hug one another. But what I always tell everybody is, visualize a person. If you miss someone, visualize them, giving them a hug. Send them love. And this is also a time to practice letting go, which is very good for us. We saw that Carlos, his mother, and he also had a problem with their thoughts. And as soon as he returned to the thoughts of wanting to go back or longing for his mother, he actually got ill because it's not a healthy love. But for now, when we can't see some people or some of our families, this is how we can practice loving them regardless. And this is a good practice for us to letting go. And we need to do that. And not only that, letting go of some material stuff as well. And so we are being forced to look at ourselves and the hold we have, the emotional hold we have on the world around us, and to actually take note and to change ourselves. We will have a long time practicing all this, and with the people that is with us in the home, we can practice good things, and that is routine to do things and not just be lazy and be in front of the TV, but have a routine in prayer especially. We need routine. Hi, it's Keisha. Thank you, Keisha, for joining. We have to have a routine, and we have to uplift, because we have to remember that our children will remember the way we will perceive everything that is going on now, and we want to have them remember and be brave and be inspired by the way that we are handling the situation, our emotions especially, because we know, like in the book Thorn Life, that our emotions, our mental thoughts, everybody can pick that up. And I mean, I think everybody can tell you now that you can feel the emotions in the air. And that is why we have to, what they call, I think it's metacognition. I hope I said correctly with my Afrikaans accent. But the thing is that we should know what is your thought and what is the emotions and that is coming from somewhere else. And to practice being Rahim. Thank you, Rahim, for joining us. For practicing being good, know about the thoughts. And this is why, especially now, we have to know what are we thinking, how are we feeling, what are we going to do about it. Being part of things. Take a great book. I mean, if we get frustrated, that some people do because we are so used to going where we want to go. But the thing is to practice things being still now, because we usually want to go do something, We are too busy, and now we're being called to being still in ourselves, and to actually listen. And this is a great practice for every one of us, I think. I think Thich Nhat Hanh says that we need to, I think Vanessa also said once, be like a tree meditation, to say, okay, I have to be still in myself and know that God is working here and Jesus is working. I mean, I thought to myself, if, like Harold mentioned this morning, if anyone in the World War II, they said there was so many help. Just imagine the help from the spiritual realm in this time. But let us be the hands, because Jesus needs the hands. Let us be positive, be joyful, let us share, let us know that we are there for one another. So start a WhatsApp group for some people to talk to, send great things, do anything that we can to inspire one another. This is a great book, and I think I didn't stay with this book today. I'm so sorry about that. But may it be wonderful, and I bless everyone. May everyone be blessed in this time that we're going through. But let us be joyful and know that we have so many help. But let us work on ourselves as well, and inspire one another. We will continue next week. I'm so happy to be live this week. We are so thankful. But see you next week, and with one of the others, like the prayer and all that with Vanessa. We'll see each other there. Thank you so much. God bless.